The Chair Company is a conspiracy wrapped in a comedy. The HBO super hit is a little frantic and darkly funny. Earlier, Risa spoke with one of the show's stars, the one and only Lake Bell.
I'm right about a lot of things that people have zero clue that they even know is going on.
Okay.
You've been distracted, Ron, coming in and out of this house at all hours of the night. I feel like you're hiding something.
I have to say, I am addicted to this series. I've been watching The Chair Company. I kind of said, oh, I should just check this out. And then like 4 hours later, I was still there. It's fantastic. Your character is fantastic. What I really love about this series, The Chair Company, is that it's uh, so quickly changing. Like you don't know what's coming next. I'm sure I wanted to ask you about the table reads when you guys all got the scripts and went through it. How did you feel when you were like taking these characters through these twists and turns?
I have to say that the uniqueness of the way that this show is written, I give great credit to Tim Robinson, but then also Zach Kanan. The two of them are this incredible sort of brainchild of this world. And what reading the scripts, I have to say I've never experienced in my long career at this point, and especially in comedy, the surprise with every turn of the page. And the characters are so like lovable and relatable and also odd, so having those two things in the same lane of for creating character is very hard to do, and they do it so successfully. I think that's why you're kind of on board too, because you're on this like roller coaster with this guy, Ron Trosper, and you know this man, you know his wife, you know his children, you know his coworkers so well, so that relatability lets you kind of suspend some disbelief.
I don't want to see and it sounds serious.
Don't wait for me at the bathroom.
Yeah, I've said that they like everyone's holding hands over a thin layer of ice, like the thin ice of mental disorder. They're holding hands and just kind of walking along with each other. I think it's fantastic. The dynamic between you, Barb, as the wife, and Tim as Ron. How is that manifesting for you? I really like that dynamic. It's actually very real. I think that we have these interesting relationships. It's not like your storybook type of romance. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I think, they have a very patient romance. They have been together for, decades at this point. They have older kids, and I think that his neuroses and his sort of need to scratch itches that perhaps should be left alone it is part of who he is and what she fell in love with and his demeanor. But you do see that in couples that have been together for a long time, where we have to yin to each other's yang, and so for all that he is tied up in a knot, she is expert at unfurling them, so I think there's an inherent sweetness, I think, to Ron too, that makes you understand that, it's been a long road, and, we've supported each other throughout, as you do, and things screw up sometimes, but ultimately, I think that you need to have that grounding, loving support in this sort of total web of madness, that's happening in the negative spaces.
Yeah, for sure. I love the support that they have for each other, and there's still that enthusiasm for what could be happening, and you're just living your daily life. And I think it's fantastic. What do you like best about Barb?
Listen, I think it's really fun to play the straight woman. It's, I when you realize, I think if you've done this long enough, it's like the straight woman or man is epically essential. Like nothing works unless you can maintain a level of like this kind of unmovable bedrock, to allow for sort of the sparklers to occur, and it can be really difficult because Tim's really funny and he's also kind of wild, in character. So as a person, he's like a lovely mensch of a guy, he's just like a nice dad guy, but then as Ron, and when he takes on these characterizations that he's so talented, he's just incredible at, that, he gets into this space where I have to really like engage my core in order to not break. And it's hard because he really is, it's unique too. He takes me by surprise all the time.
Yeah, this series, I think surprise is the perfect word for it. I think that the fact that it is such a huge hit on HBO, I think that audiences are continually surprised by the plot twists and the story and the relationships. I think The Chair Company is a must-see. Everybody, please watch The Chair Company on HBO, streaming on HBO Max. And thank you, Lake Bell, for taking time with us today. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You can't get an apology. I want to scream at him. Ah! Oh my God! You're disgusting. These are my work clothes.
You can catch The Chair Company on HBO and streaming on HBO Max. We love